From the San Diego Polo Grounds in the city of Del Mar, this is the Surf Cup 2011 featuring the Heat FC and the San Ramon Azurri. Hello again, everybody. I'm Greg GK Porter for Langevin Productions. And the team in the dark blue on the above part of the screen there is San Ramon Azurri, and the team in white is Heat FC. Let's get the lineup for Heat FC. Their manager, first of all, is Judith Fauner, and the head coach is Jennifer Klein. And her club will be having at keeper number 20, Caitlin Fauner. Number 0, Nicole Westover, and she will be a central defense player. At defender or midfielder field is Mackenzie Karras. She's number 1. Number 3 at forward is Amberly Halstead. Number 5 at forward or defender is Aaliyah Norman. Number 6 at forward is Fallon Miller. Number 8 at defender or midfield is Jenna Kaya Charles. Number 9 at forward or left winger is Megan Cordero. Number 10 at center mid is Courtney Anderson. Number 11 at defender is Maddie Moore. Number 13 at center mid is Ashley Beckwith. Number 14 at center mid is Alexa White. Number 16 at defender is Melissa Canizales. And we are underway. Going from right to left is Heat FC, and left to right is San Ramon Azurri. And the rest of the lineup reads for Heat FC. Number 17 at central mid or forward is Alyssa Gomez. Number 19 at forward or outside mid is Cara Capello. And number 28 at outside mid, Lindsay Ng, with 77 being the defender, Cassandra Serta. And that's your lineup for Heat FC in this girls under 17 match. That ball now all the way over the top of the net. And it is going to be, as it goes past the goal line, it's going to be a corner kick now for San Ramon Azurri. The bending ball into the 18-yard box, and it is headed right at the keeper, Fauner. And Caitlin, no problem with it that time. Fauner pushing that ball upfield. Into the corner now. San Ramon working with it in the attacking third. And a challenge that time and winning it. Heat FC getting that ball across midfield, but playing a rather high line is San Ramon on the near side. Trying to make a move was Fallon Miller. And that ball is knocked out of play off of her cleat. And it'll be a throw-in. San Ramon getting it into field of play. Working out wide now and can't get a runner onto it. So the throw-in now and out of the foot of Cordero. Cordero did a central, and it's worked back to Beckwith, who has a player run up from the back, pushing it out wide, down the central, now back out wide again, and a service back in the central as the back line of San Ramon stiffening up, winning the soccer ball. Trying to push it to midfield, but they could not continue on as it was taken away. There's a touch by Halstead. in the central, and now San Ramon winning it, but they cannot continue their progress. So the throw in, that time by Moore. The midfield area now running onto it is Fallon Miller. Her diagonal pass was intercepted. San Ramon, Azurri now in their own defensive half, trying to collect and get a push up the field, having problems with it at midfield, and so now Heat FC winning it there with Ashley Beckwith. Heat FC coming out of their bracket doing a fine job. They were in bracket D, 14 points. And the first day, Saturday activity, was a day where they could not put a goal in the back of the net. But they were able to tie the Arsenal goal and the Tualatin Hills United 0-0. Along the right side, and that ball is knocked out of play. And then everything started to heat up on Sunday, where they beat Columbia Timbers 1-0 in the quarterfinals. And then they beat FC United out of Illinois 2-0 in the semifinal. And here they are today in the championship game. Not losing a single match here in the Surf Cup 2011. Service in the 18-yard box by the Heat FC, and comes out to the top of the attacking third. Got a runner on the far side, and the shot that goes past the net. But a nice little attacking play there. Just couldn't get the right shot that time for Heat FC. Out of Las Vegas, Nevada, San Ramon, out of the Bay Area, Contra Costa County up there, next to Danville, California. Headquarters of Chevron, AT&T, 24-hour fitness. Now in the final third for Heat FC, and pushed out of play, just kind of protecting into space. Number 13 for San Ramon, Azurri, the throw in. The header out by the Heat FC. So San Ramon will get a chance to throw it in their attacking third. Just outside the 18-yard box. Want to get it in the box. Doesn't arrive there. They still have possession momentarily. Across midfield, they want to draw it back off the diagonal pass. And in deeper as the keeper striking it across midfield. And they got a runner, and she's onside, takes a service. It's deflected, trying to get another player to run onto it for San Ramon, but cannot, as the Heat FC doing a fine job in their 18-yard box to get that ball out of danger. In their own defensive half. The stadium view. More stadium view cameras into Surf Cup than ever before. And we are happy to be one of them. Service into the 18 and the central of the 18, won by the central defender. And they quickly routed out of their own final third. Throw in for San Ramon, Azurri. In this 0-0 match on Monday here of the Surf Cup 2011. The tournament, the best of the best. The #1 tournament in the country right now, surpassing the Dallas Cup. Now in the attacking third for San Ramon, Azurri. Number 35 trying to get to it, could not. Nicely done, as left defensive spot was nice and stout that time, winning the soccer ball. And at midfield for Heat FC, as Megan Cordero corralling that soccer ball, getting it over to Fallon Miller. Miller under a lot of pressure, tries to retrieve it and is taken away. However, the pass was intercepted by the Heat FC, and they have possession again. At midfield, out of the center circle, as they go to the attacking third now. Towards the box. The service toward the central of the box. But they had two players there, but could not get either one of them to win that soccer ball. And if so, would have been a big dangerous play for the keeper of San Ramon. But she drives that ball all the way down the field. Has done that quite well in this match, showing her ability of foot as a keeper. On the near side, Heat FC with Fallon Miller working it toward the central, off the touch by Beckwith. Ashley getting it over to her teammate out wide in this 0-0 match. And a whistle. And that whistle's going to go against Heat FC. So it is going to be a free kick just outside of the center circle in this 0-0 match. First half action. About 8 minutes gone so far in the first half. San Ramon Azurri with a free kick, and that one was not good enough to get to that near post. So Caitlin Fauner setting it up. Caitlin, a junior at Coronado High School in Henderson. And touch there. And now it's going to be a free kick working against the Heat FC. Actually, that ball went out of play, so it's a throw-in. Trying to do something in the attacking third, could not. So now here comes the Heat FC as down the central. Trying to get to it was Cordero. And unfortunately, they could not continue on in the 18-yard box in this girls under 17 match. 0-0 your score from the Polo Grounds of the city of San Diego, belonging to the city of San Diego. Here in the area of Del Mar, California. 20 miles north of the San Diego city proper. San Ramon out of the Bay Area trying to get something going here. Having a tough time connecting the way they want to and getting a good quality shot. And way off her line is Caitlin Fauner to corral this one. Plenty of time and space, and it's going to slingshot that soccer ball all the way to the near side to get it started. And they quickly get it across midfield, but it doesn't go any further. It's driven all the way back to the back line. And no problem that time on the near side, getting it out of play, the Heat FC. So they can get back and help out into space. And in the space, winning it is San Ramon Azurri, but that shot was not a good shot. Way wide of the left post. Would have liked a better quality shot that time if you're San Ramon Azurri. Off the header, not being able to get to the soccer ball, so Heat FC says we'll take it. And they have it now, going along the right flank across midfield into the central, getting it to Fallon Miller for a run. Miller will stop there and tried to give it to Cordero, but it never arrived there. As Azurri, San Ramon, not able to get it out of their own half, so Fallon Miller with it again, trying to diagonal across, and she was cut off there as they stiffen up in the deep back. Now San Ramon Azurri on their counterattack, try to get a through ball. Can't seem to do it. and so giving it away again to the Heat FC. But they do win it in space, able to get to the soccer ball, but here's Fallon Miller off the header, but it went right to a San Ramon player. San Ramon with it again. They want to try it again, work it back to the back line and try to push it upfield. Across midfield. Again, Heat FC into the central. But San Ramon winning it and going right back the other way in this 0-0 match. The service into the 18-yard box now. And then outside of the box and up top, they could not get a runner in the box. So they give it away, another chance. Quality chances you do not want to play around with in the world of soccer, because they do have a way of coming back and hurting you down the road if you do not connect. Long ball. Intercepted into space by San Ramon Azurri. Now they get their passing attack going into the central. Trying to get a through ball, couldn't get it. However, winning it into space is San Ramon Azurri, trying to go further. But stiffening up nicely, the Heat FC. On it now, there is Anderson corralling it, and Anderson goes out wide. Here's Anderson getting a return pass. And that pass off the carom went over to Halstead. She couldn't go any further. Into space. Fallon Miller working it to Cordero. Cordero trapping the soccer ball, getting it to her teammate. Into space, but she couldn't go any further as they stiffen up there. Did San Ramon. Winning it, trying to go down the central. Finding resistance, so they go out wide. Send a service down to central. It's intercepted, and then another try, and it goes awry, way awry of the net. Coming in now is number 28, Lindsay Ing. Ing, a midfield type, can play in the outside. She's a member of the Academic Society and a co-founder of the Bishop Gorman Micro Bank over at her high school. Winning it into space, and in the attacking third, trying to continue pressure, is San Ramon. Azurri, they still are on the soccer ball, pushing it back. Striking it back, rather, down the central. San Ramon Azurri, they want to work out wide now. Slowing that soccer ball, the pace of it. Service into the 18, and trying to get a bending ball towards that back line, and way too much pace on it that time for San Ramon Azurri to connect for a quality chance. We're still 0-0 in this match. That was probably one of their best connecting opportunities in this match, San Ramon Azurri. And here they are again, playing in a defensive half. And that ball now past the goal line, and it is going to be a corner kick. They've had more corner kicks than Heat FC. The winners of Bracket D, who have not lost, getting to the championship match. The in-swinger this time for San Ramon Azurri, a collision in the 6-yard. And getting up gingerly is one of the players for San Ramon, Azurri. No foul by the center ref. So it's a free kick. And actually there was a foul on the play. And it goes against the San Ramon, Azurri player. So two things didn't happen right there. She fouled, and in the process of the foul, she got hurt. Nearly a handball, but not called. Trying to go down to Central, can't do it. So San Ramon, Azurri winning the soccer ball, being settled there. They want to switch it diagonal, the header, but nobody is going to be on the other end of that heading try. So it's a giveaway, basically. Throw in this 0-0 match. Hope you're enjoying all the action. The San Diego Surf Cup 2011. I'm Greg G.K. Porter, happy to be with you. Langevin Productions. San Ramon out of the Bay Area, trying to continue their work in the defensive half. The visitors from Nevada, and a try, and it is a save by Fauner. Caitlin doing a fine job as they trying to get something going inside that near post and could not do it. In that last sequence, we're at about the 20th minute mark in the match. Substitutions, and if we miss any substitutions, we will mention them as they touch that soccer ball. Heat FC in their own defensive half, collecting, trying to move upfield, but cannot on the intercept. However, can they win it back? They do. And down the Central, Ing trying to go further, could not, and she was routed off the soccer ball. But here's Ing again. It's got a GPA of 4.03 in advanced placement courses. Lindsay Ing, number 28. Very smart young lady. At midfield, the header all the way up forward, but then quickly back with it. Heat FC as it goes out of play. Going to be a throw-in now in their own final third, out of their own final third. San Ramon, the header up to midfield. They cannot get a subsequent touch. And now the touches belong to the Heat FC, and trying to get to that one was Leah Norman. She could not, as it goes out of play. San Ramon will throw it in again in this 0-0 match. Norman with the header, now Ing. Ing getting it over to Yaya Gomez. And now having to retreat back, and could have been a miscommunication there, which would not have been good with Canazales and the keeper. Alyssa has to be a little more careful the next time. And that ball goes all the way over to the keeper for San Ramon, but she's got plenty of time and space. No problem on a few bounces. Remember, I mentioned that she can drive the ball a long way, and does so, as it's already in the attacking third for San Ramon as they work out off their left flank, and a little carom, but no problem for Caitlin Fauner, daughter of Judith, team manager. Cordero. And she's not the daughter, she's a relative with the same last name. That ball going out wide. The touch there by Norman, and Norman not getting what she wanted on the soccer ball. Going upfield, and the touch out of play by San Ramon. Here in about the 26th minute of the match. 0-0, still the score. The championship in the gold division of the girls under 17, the Surf Cup 2011. On a beautiful day here on a Monday. The visitors from Northern California now trying to get their offensive attack going, as they have it at midfield with a couple of passes. Struggling now. Still are on the soccer ball, though. Able to secure it, but an intercept as they were trying to go to the 18, but they win it again off the interception. Trying to weave their way around two players, but couldn't do it, and now their back line has to retreat back. But plenty of time and space for their keeper, and she drives it all the way down to the final third. Off the carom on the near side for San Ramon, trying to keep it in, and it was touched down. As trying to go upfield with the Heat FC, they couldn't do it. Lastly, touched out there by Cordero, and now into the 18-yard box off of a bounce, and a save by Fauner. Fauner had to move towards the soccer ball, waiting for that bounce, because there was a player coming right at her for San Ramon. 0-0 the score here in the first half of action. The ball is routed out of play by Karras. So Jammer Karras striking that ball out of play, and it'll be a throw-in. As San Ramon going to work here in their attacking third, right outside the box. There's a strike in the box, but quickly getting there was Canizales. And here's a strike past the goal line. And it is going to be a goal kick in this 0-0 match. You see all the area there of the polo grounds here where nobody is around. And when that happens, you've got to be in the championship. And that is exactly what you are watching here. Two championship teams going at it here in the girls under 17. The touch there by Alex White. On the outside, a strike from one of her defenders all the way up the central. Now here's a strike by Ng, but intercepted off the header. But here's Ng stepping into the space, challenging the soccer ball. Going after it again now, but has a teammate in support. And that is Yaya Gomez. Gomez going out wide. Here's a strike in towards the central of the 18. But San Ramon able to win it there in the space and push it up and strike it upfield. However, it's taken away. Here's a nice ball up forward. A touch there by Coppola. Into the central now, and it is going to go a few yards to the left, or to the right as you see it, of the far post. But not a bad little sequence for Heat FC. Substitutions now coming in for the visitors of the Bay Area. San Ramon, Azurri. as both teams still knotted up in a 0-0 tie. The keeper for San Ramon Azurri's pass didn't get to its intended target, taken away. Going up the field, there was Norman, and that ball is out of play now. The one with the geometric designs of one of the most famous sport in the world, football, in most countries. Soccer in this one. We got another sport called football. Pretty popular too. That ball after the service on the free kick towards the 18-yard box. Not able to be moved along forward, and they stiffen up. In their final third is San Ramon Azurri, and so they'll throw it in again. The header, and it goes out wide and further wide for San Ramon Azurri, and they're going to give up an opportunity for Heat FC to work again in their defensive half. Substitutions coming in now. Coming in for the Heat FC, number 77, Cassandra Serta, the defender. Off the right flank, trying to get something going. Heat FC knocked out again by San Ramon Azurri. So they'll have to protect again in their own defensive half. Fresh player coming in for San Ramon Azurri. In this 0-0 match, the North County of San Diego, Del Mar, California. Big Cash Cow is the Del Mar racetrack. Just a few miles the other side of the freeway from here. But this tournament does pretty good for Del Mar also. And the general area where all the hotels are. Teams coming from different countries and all over the United States to be in this great tournament. Got to be invited to this tournament by virtue of how you have played during the season. And usually this tournament starts off you playing the next age bracket up. And Heat FC, the girls under 16, lost in the Nevada State Cup in the finals 2-1 back in May to Las Vegas Surf 95 team. Didn't fare too well in Region 4. Now here they have played well here in the best tournament in the country, as trying to attack just to the left flank of that 18-yard box was Megan Cordero. And it was knocked out of play by San Ramon Azurri, and it will be a corner kick from the near side of the field. You see, not too many teams playing left here on this Monday of action. They start on Saturday, get that bracket play taken care of on Sunday, and then the championships here on Monday. The outswinger, but it's in the box. Dangerous now for San Ramon Azurri, and they're able to get it out of their own penalty area and strike it all the way upfield. Canizales, who drives it upfield. Knocked out by San Ramon Azurri. It'll be a throw-in now. Karras will throw it in. McKenzie. San Ramon Azurri out of their own final third, driving across midfield. getting the touches on the near side, and there is a double whistle, and that's the end of the first half. The end of the first half will show a score of 0-0 between San Ramon, Azurri, and Heat FC. Second half action set to get underway. It's left to right for Heat FC and right to left San Ramon, Azurri. 0-0 the score in the first half. Let's see what happens here in the second half. Can always be a tale of two halves in a soccer match. The ball going out of play on the near side. It'll be a throw-in for San Ramon, Azurri. San Ramon, Azurri had some pretty decent shots, or attempts I should say, in the first half. They had more of the corner kicking opportunities, and actually they ended up having more possession time in the first half, but could not put one in the back of the net. But neither could Heat FC, which had maybe one or two quality chances. Heat FC now in their own final third. A strike up towards midfield. On it there is Fallon Miller. Fallon Miller, senior at Arbor High School. Ball now in the defensive half. Staying after it that time was Madison Moore, Maddie Moore, striking it out of play. Maddie was under a lot of pressure that time. Just trying to protect into space. San Ramon, Azurri on a service. It's outside the partial circle, but could not continue with another touch. And now they strike it towards the 18. Winning it to Heat FC. Stiffening up in their own 18 yards box. In and around it. They got to retreat now as they're getting compressed. They're able to win it. Striking it upfield to midfield, but there again. San Ramon, Azurri. Striking that ball down to central. Trying to go further, but cannot. As the Heat FC just outside their 18-yard box in the final third. Playing well. And now trying to do some attacking here. Having a tough time to do that is San Ramon, Azurri. Trying to get to the soccer ball there is Cordero. They switch it now to the far side of the field. San Ramon, Azurri, SRA. Struck out of play. Be a throw-in for SRA. Throw in, far side touchline. Challenge there, but Ing winning it. Couldn't get anybody on the other end of the pass. Out of their deep back. The strike was upfield. Karem's back to their back line. Playing a somewhat of a high line. retreating back to their 18 and basically shepherding that ball right back to the keeper. SRA, San Ramon, Azurri. Visitors from Northern California now on the attack again, but there's a touch by Yaya Gomez. That was Serta going after it. Serta chasing it down again. On the far side, out of play. Lastly touched out by SRA. Going after it is Yaya Gomez. She couldn't get the soccer ball, but now intercepting there was Alex White in the space. Nicely done by Alex. The wide side. Winning it. Heat FC. Now with time and space. The ball sent down toward the final third and towards the 18-yard box. Keeper coming way off her line. Heat FC trying to keep it in their defensive half. The Bay Area visitors as they try to work it out of their own half. That time, the player 34 trying to act like she was going to go for the soccer ball and hoping that maybe she would draw the player in the space away from it and then have a teammate to run onto it, but that didn't happen. In their own defensive half, San Ramon, Azurri, and in the central, able to get to the soccer ball, strike it across midfield, but running onto it now is Karras, and Karras striking it right at the keeper. McKenzie, nice run from the back. And a decent strike from distance. Alexa White, and then Maddie Moore in the space. They cannot win the soccer ball, so SRA will be able to throw it in. And they have a substitution coming in momentarily. In this 0-0 match here at the Polo Grounds of San Diego, here in the city of Del Mar. Greg G.K. Porter, happy to be with you, enjoying the action here in the second half in this championship match of the girls under 17 of the Gold Division. Into the 18-yard box, and Ramon off the frame there. They got a real dangerous shot, and they nearly scored on it. It went off the post, and fortunately able to corral it and keep going upfield. Heat FC very nearly behind 1-0 on the shot. Getting the best shot of the match. San Ramon, Azurri, striker, but couldn't put it in the back of the net. Still 0-0. Knocked out of play. Knocked out by San Ramon, Azurri. The throw in by Karras. McKenzie looking for her teammate. And she has her. Fallon Miller. Miller can't go any further. Dispossessed in the central. And running onto it now. Getting support as Maddie Moore getting her teammate. Canizales. And Canizales' strike up forward. And it is going to go out of play in a far side touchline. If she could have had her teammate connect, they had something going on that left flank. SRA will throw it out of their own defensive third. In the space there was Serta, but she couldn't get to it. Cross midfield. SRA Working toward the final third, and it's knocked out of play by Maddie Moore, protecting on that left defensive area. The visitors from Northern California trying to get a good quality play here outside of the 18. Into the corner, but pressure by Canizales. Striking that soccer ball past the far side touchline. And a throw in for San Ramon. The strike into the 18, but it headed out. And a quick touch to Yaya Gomez. However, they're able to win it again in the final third, but can't get another strike on it. But they're still in the defensive half of Heat FC. Heat FC now trying to work it out of their own final third with Yaya Gomez, dropping it back to Serta. Serta works it over to Fallon Miller, but she couldn't hold on to the soccer ball anymore. Gave it away as they are right outside, and here's a strike just above the top of the net. There'll be a substitution coming in, but they had a pretty good little sequence that time. San Ramon, but could not get what they wanted out of that, which would have been a goal. Still 0-0. Coming in, Nicole Westover. Here's Fallon Miller on the move. Fallon Miller just outside the box. Stops the soccer ball. Then goes after it again and pushes it past the goal line. Fallon Miller being pressured outside of the 18-yard box and couldn't get an opportunity to drop it back to a teammate or get a good quality bending ball towards the net, as they played well in that right defensive spot. So it is now going to be a goal kick in this 0-0 match. The championship one, the girls under 17. The girls gold division. Up in the air. Towards the final third. Heat FC buzzing around, trying to continue to get into that 18-yard box. But they protect. Push it out of play on a near side touchline. Mackenzie Karras going to throw it in. Mackenzie getting it in to her teammate in the corner. That's Leah Norman. Norman trying to drive it back upfield and get a player to touch it. And then they work it towards the 18, but then it was stolen away. Karras sweeping the ball to the central now for the Heat FCs. Continuing to try to put the pressure on. Back to Karras. Karras works it to her teammate, who will give it out wide to Norman, and Norman just couldn't handle the soccer ball. And she knew she would have liked to been able to handle it that time. She thought it was going to go over her left shoulder, and it didn't. It hit her in the back, and they were able to win the soccer ball. However, still continuing the attack in their defensive half. Pretty good little sequence here of keeping the ball in their defensive half. The Heat FC out of Nevada. Free kick. San Ramon Azurri with the keeper, trying to get it all the way into the 18-yard box, but after a couple of headers, that does not happen. Back upfield, as now they have to retreat back as they settle back towards the protect in their 18 on it, and a nice strike toward the central. trying to get Serta to go after it, and Serta strikes it nicely back upfield. Has a couple players in the space. It is touched over to Karras. Karras on the run. She goes down, and Fallon Miller goes after it. No call, though, by the center ref. And Karras getting up gingerly. And she had a nice run towards that 18-yard box, but is not going to get the measure of satisfaction of a foul on the play, as they say that it was just both players going after the soccer ball and actually hitting it and her going down. Not an actual foul by the defensive player striking her leg or her body without hitting the soccer ball. Kind of similar to the earlier in a scenario, but that time it was a foul against that player who was actually going after it for San Ramon, Azurri. We got two soccer balls in the field of play, and one is knocked out of there by Courtney Anderson. The one that they play with, having to defend in their own 18-yard box. Anderson and her teammates striking the ball upfield. Lastly, off of a header, and then now the strike. It is off of, I believe that was Ing in the central. On the wide. The strike intercepted. Nicely done. Heat FC in this 0-0 match. Here's Fallon Miller getting the soccer ball. Fallon Miller trying to continue on into the 18, but cannot. And it is a ball that is driven out of the far side touchline by the right side defender on the play. So regrouping to see what they can do in the final third here. Nice ball into the corner, but not getting a quality strike out of it. And it's going to be a giveaway to San Ramon Azurri and their goal kick. Coming in, number 13 you see there, and that is Ashley Beckwith. Ashley's a center midfield type player. Working our way halfway through the second half of this match in a 0-0 score. Surf Cup 2011 championship match on a beautiful day here in Del Mar, California. The header, subsequent header again. 50-50 brought down by Heat FC. And the Nevada visitors will have a throw-in as this last touched out by San Ramon Azurri. On the wide, the strike into the 18, looking for Fallon Miller. And Fallon not able to get to the soccer ball, but it was lastly touched out by San Ramon Azurri. Cassandra Serta coming back into the match when she gets an opportunity here. Ing, Lindsay Ing setting it up. Ing, a nice ball and nearly into the back of the net. The header that time by Fallon Miller, and she nearly got it inside the far post. The Arbor High senior nearly put the first goal in the back of the net. As a sophomore, Fallon Miller led her team to the first ever title in Nevada. She's played on the Nevada 94 State ODP team. She was selected to the second team at the Far Western Regionals in Arizona back in January. The bending ball and up in the air, knocked away. Fallon Miller cannot get to it, and neither can her teammates that time. And so at midfield, here's Ing. Sending it out wide, has a teammate there, looking for Miller. Her shot is deflected, and they're buzzing around now in the final third, trying to make something happen. Trying to put it in the back of the net. The challenge by Karras, and Mackenzie Karras getting a player quite a bit that time. And that player is not happy. And here's a free kick. Into the 18-yard box, and it goes out of play. The throw-in, San Ramon Azurri.
Come on, Leah! Come on, Leah!
It'll be a throw-in. Heat FC. On the near side. Trying to make something happen is the Heat FC in the central. Trying to get that ball to Fallon Miller. But Miller not able to get to it. In this 0-0 match. Brought down. Beckwith winning the soccer ball. Sent down to central. The header cross midfield. Now here's Ing going after it. And it goes out of play. Lindsay Ing has been the recipient of the President's Volunteer Service Award. She's been all state academic since her freshman year. It's number 28, Lindsay Ing. In the central, on the soccer ball there was Karras. Into the 18, they head it out. Nicely done as they stiffen up in their 18-yard box. San Ramon Azurri now trying to keep the pressure on in the defensive half. The visitors from Nevada. It goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in. 0-0 your score. On the near side, coming in is going to be Megan Cordero along with Amberly Halstead. So Cordero and Halstead are going to come into the match. See what they can try to do. Cordero, the forward type player, can play at a left wing position. And Halstead is another forward type player. See how they set him up. Trying to get some more attacking pressure on the team in dark blue with their keeper who can strike it a long way. Now down to central after a touch by Courtney Anderson. And now it goes out wide. Trying to continue on to Fallon Miller. Fallon chasing it down. Fallon Miller going to be playing for the University of Washington, UW, next year. Already committed to go play up there. Going to be a throw-in now. Karras, McKenzie wants to get a lot of air under the soccer ball. Got teammates heading that soccer ball, trying to get it going forward. They cannot now. And the deep back. Central defender having to make a play. And now on the right side of the defense, sweeping the soccer ball all the way up forward, but no problem for the keeper with plenty of time and space. She's going to drive it down to Central for the Bay Area visitors as they win it now and try to continue on toward the attacking third and want to strike it out wide, but it was a giveaway. Did not have a player on the other end of that soccer ball, and so now the throw in on the near side by Mackenzie Karras. Jammer getting it in, and she's got teammates now who are working with it down to Central. Lastly there was Halstead, and she could not go any further as it caromed around. However, in the corner, she does have Aaliyah Norman, and Norman will be able to throw it in as San Ramon Azurri knocking it out of play. Substitutions coming in. Both coaches wanting to keep fresh players into the match. Here's Karras. Jammer sweeping the soccer ball. Trying to get somebody to run onto it for her team. In this 0-0 championship match. Gets more dramatic as time goes on.
Am, take this one, Am, take this one, give 11 to Clark.
Neither team able to put it in the back of the net, but probably the best of chances was San Ramon Azurri, and they just could not get it inside the post before the keeper could get there.
Go double, go double, go double.
It caromed off the post, off the keeper, and then Heat FC having a player to be able to sweep it out of the 18-yard box. Now here's Fallon Miller. Fallon Miller, the ever-dangerous one, and cannot get the ball to bend past the keeper.
Come on, Jenna, again.
So now the goal kick up forward. For San Ramon trying to get it out of their own defensive half. Having a problem now. It's Fallon Miller providing pressure there in the space. It is knocked out by Cassandra Serta. San Ramon Azurri try to work to the final third, cannot do it. Here's Karras. McKenzie on a couple of bounces though, nobody there, could not drive the ball in the type of space and the type of pace for her teammate up forward to run onto it, that last sequence. But now they have it here. Courtney Anderson changing her direction, but her teammate cannot get it over to Karras. And it goes out of play on the near side touchline, so McKenzie watches Her opponent throw it in after a substitution. Intercepting is Megan Cordero. Cordero working to Norman, but Norman couldn't get it. And now they have the counterattack. But it goes out wide, and Serta staying on the soccer ball. And she was pressured and just drove it out of play. They throw it in just outside the 18. The bending ball is intercepted, but they get another touch. Another strike. Player with some space momentarily. And after the carom, she's able to win it. Drop it back upfield for San Ramon Azurri. They collected with time and space. Now they'll work their game out wide. Passing game back to the Central now as they continue on with possession of the ball. Worked out wide again. Got a player with time and space there. Going to send it in some space right toward the 18. Got two players there, but they can't win it. Won by Heat FC and struck upfield. Now on it is Halstead helping out in space. However, they intercept now. They're right outside the box for a shot and a save by Fodder. Caitlin Fodder was right there to make the save as they took a shot right outside that 18. Not a problem for Fodder. Ball had way too much air on it, and Fodder was able to make that save. Karras striking it out of play. Jammer will retreat back in space. Help out defensively. In their defensive half, the visitors from the Bay Area striking it up forward. With players there. Now they go on to work to the right flank at a service, and they try to go back post, and it was just a little bit too far. Try to go back post that time, but it had too much air on it, too much pace on it, and that ball rid harmlessly past the goal line for Heat FC. Caitlin Fodder. Caitlin has had 25 shutouts in 2 seasons in high school soccer, 4.275 GPA in an honors program. The keeper for Heat FC. And may be pressed into an overtime, extra time scenario if this continues the way it is. And as a keeper, it gets more and more dramatic if that comes into play. Kaylin, regional ODP team. Last couple of years. The keeper wanting her teammates to help her out here as she gets a hold of the soccer ball again, and they do. Routing that striker away from a quality chance. But here they come again, trying to test her and her defenders on the right defensive spot. Karras. And Karras is going to get a red card. She struck the player in the space there, and not happy is Karras, and definitely her coach is not happy. As not needing to do that, and there's sometimes you see that in the younger ages and they don't get a red card, but they're not, the center ref will not tolerate that at this age. And so unfortunately, Mackenzie Karras has costed her team an opportunity to play with the same amount of players as the other team. And so they play one player down, and they're going to have to process an opportunity to win this game here in the late moments, albeit still in a 0-0 tie. They're going to have to do it shorthanded. And it's a mental boost for the Bay Area visitors as they will continue to try and make things happen. But right now they're being pressed to play defense. And a through ball that coming off her line is a keeper for San Ramon Azurri. Just in front of the striker for Heat FC. There's a double whistle, and that's the end of regulation play. It ends 0-0, and we will play extra time today in this championship match of the girls under 17, the Gold Division. Two 10-minute overtime sessions as going from left to right is San Ramon Azurri, and from right to left is the team that started off going from right to left, and that is, of course, FC Heat FC. Let's see what they can do here in the second half. I mean, in the first overtime period. On the near side, Lindsay Ng trying to get to the soccer ball, couldn't quite do it. It's going to be a throw-in. Nil-nil at the end of regulation. The throw in by Cassandra Serta. Ng trying to sweep it to herself, and she does. Ng now a service into the box, but nobody there in the central. Will chase it down. Won't be able to get to it. However, has a teammate in the central. Ng now just trying to drive the ball up into the air, trying to get her teammate to run onto it, and that would be Megan Cordero. And that ball had too much air underneath it, or not enough air underneath it. In the space trying to get to it was Beckwith, couldn't do it. However, they win it. Heat FC dispossessed now, and will have to chase it down in their final third. Tried to do something with the soccer ball that time was Charles, and that was kind of a dangerous play as Charles gave it up, and a strike right at her keeper. But the senior, or rather the junior at Coronado High School in Henderson, Nevada, Fawn are able to make a play. You hear that the other game behind us has concluded, and some happy folks. This one is in overtime. Somebody's going to be happy at the end of this match, as there will be a champion decided. This ball sent to the 18-yard box, and it just goes past the near post on a strike, as the striker had beat the defender just enough, but she couldn't quite dip that ball behind the keeper for a 1-0 score.
Get under it, Jen. Cover. One.
No golden goal in this tournament. They will play the 10-minute halves. 5 of them just about gone here in the first overtime period, and 2 players colliding, and will a card be coming out? A yellow card as Lindsay Ng going down. So the player who's been on our varsity team since she was a freshman, drawing a nice chance here with a quality free kick just beyond the 18-yard box. A little bit too high. The chance by Megan Cordero to put it in the top part of the net just goes awry, and you really have to strike it well from that distance with the wall and be able to beat the keeper. She didn't strike it well enough that time. Still 0-0. Fauner, nice play coming off her line. That was a dangerous play. That was developing, but Fauner is able to make the play. Still 0-0. Every play is crucial here, both offensively and defensively for your team. You don't want to be in a scenario where you're down 1-0 and not a lot of time to work with. Retreating back is Serta, and Cassandra gets to the soccer ball first, sweeping it out of play. A test of who is in the type of physical shape to play extra minutes in this match. Who can keep their activity level at a high rev, more so than the other team, to get the result that they want. Coming in now, number 6 and number 19, and that's Fallon Miller, the dangerous one for Heat FC, and Kara Coppolo. Kara, the junior from Coronado High School. The strike now by Beckwith. Kara can play a forward or an outside mid, obviously trying to get the attack going for Heat FC. They have the soccer ball, off the touch by Beckwith. Up forward now, looking for Fallon Miller, didn't get to it. Had too much pace on it. Trying to work the interior defensively of the Northern California visitors, and they draw a foul into space. Heat FC now with a free kick in this 0-0 match. The first overtime session. The Surf Cup 2011, the championship match. Greg G.K. Porter for Langevin Productions, hoping you're enjoying all the action. Here is a bending ball, but a save by the keeper. It was right on line that time. And a keeper for San Ramon Azurri, able to make the save. SRA's keeper driving it all the way down to the final third, though. Trying to get a player to get it, but headed around. Nice touching the soccer ball with their head, getting it to each other, and then upfield now for Heat FC. But they give it away now. Here's the Northern California contingent trying to go up to Central. Can't do it as they give it away now. Over to Cordero. Cordero, they drop it back. On the near side for Fallon Miller for a run. Miller outside the box. Sweeps it back to Cordero and to Central, but can't get anybody to run onto it that time as they stiffen up in the central of their box. They win it, and now a long ball, but too much pace on it that time. Two defenders there right with the striker. Would try to make it tough if she had got a hold of that soccer ball. In the space there is Cordero. Finds a teammate, but then your teammate gives it away. However, off the intercept. Now with it is Capello. Capello, who played for New Sport 95 ECNL team this past season. If I did not mention, this is an ECNL team, Heat FC. And they have played well in this tournament, have not lost a game, been tied twice. But they won't be tied today. It will either be the championship hardware or the finalist hardware for Heat FC. And coming into the match is Alexa White. So Alex want to try to get something going for Heat FC, the central midfield player. The free kick. And that is the end of the first overtime session. Both teams will switch ends now. Still 0-0. And if it remains that way after this next overtime session or extra time, then it will be a penalty kick scenario. And the purists hate that part of the game. A lot of players don't like that part of the game either. You've got to have good ball striking skills, and you got to have ice in your veins in a penalty kicking scenario. Let's see if either one of these two teams cannot allow that to happen and can settle this in the OT. Still 0-0. On the near side, coming in, is going to be Yaya Gomez. Alyssa going to try to put some activity level into the desires of her team here in the second overtime. Towards winning the championship. The ball goes out of play. Lastly touched out, though, by number 13 there of San Ramon, Azurri. The throw in. The touchdown by Maddie Moore. Striking it up forward, and a foul is going to be called against San Ramon, Azurri. Now for the free kick. They do get a fresh player in. Aaliyah Norman is into the match. Jennifer Klein making sure fresh players come in for her squad here in the second overtime session. Melissa Canizales with the free kick. Canizales strikes it outside the 18, trying to get somebody to run onto it, could not. So it's a giveaway upfield. But they have it back with Norman. Norman nearly giving the soccer ball up and has to be careful there in the central. Up forward in a final third, but they stiffen up and strike it forward. San Ramon Azurri. Azurri across midfield. And now they're going to the final third with it, and Norman gets there first into the space and strikes the soccer ball past the far side touchline. Still 0-0. Neither team has scored, and we have played 80-plus minutes of soccer. Coming in now for Heat FC is Courtney Anderson. Courtney's going to try and do what she can from the center midfield area, defensively or try and help out offensively for Heat FC. In the space, they win it. They send it into the 18, but they cannot get a subsequent touch, as nicely done, stiffening up in the exterior of their box is Heat FC. On it now, Alex White, and a foul is against the player trying to man on Alex White. So a free kick for Heat FC in their own defensive half. Just beyond their defensive third. Getting the ball now to the attacking third, but not able to secure it was Fallon Miller. He goes out of play now, knocked out by the Heat FC. Throw in, San Ramon Azurri. Maybe 5 minutes left to go in the match. When you look at the clock, and then it won't matter about a clock. It'll be about whether your team can put the ball in the back of the net against the other goalie on a penalty kicking scenario. Shot that time, and it just goes to the left of Caitlin Fauner. Fauner in the honors program. Has played well. Making good decisions as a keeper. Hasn't had to make a spectacular save because her teammates have helped that scenario out. However, there was one chance that the visitors from the Bay Area had, and they nearly pushed her into a spectacular save scenario, but it hit the post. That's been the closest that either team has been. Although Heat FC has had to make their keeper make a save. That has been of a high quality nature. Two players coming in. Lindsay Ng coming in now. Megan Cordero coming in now for Heat FC. Throw in from the far side touchline to Anderson. Courtney having trouble with it. The teammate comes over in support. Striking the ball back. Words to Canizales, and Canizales and her teammates strike it forward, looking for Fallon Miller, but she just couldn't quite get it. As getting to it first was the keeper for Azurri, San Ramon Azurri. Off the header, time and space, sweeping it off the diagonal. Going wide now, and a whistle. Offsides must have been on the play. 0-0. Neither team has put one in the back of the net. And we are moments away from concluding the second overtime session of this championship match. Players winded. Players trying to draw any kind of strength that they got left. And it goes back to Fonner and into the corner. And it goes over the top of the net. That was dangerous that time, and Fonner almost had a scenario where they got the ball behind her. But thankfully, her teammates were able to converge and help out at the last moment. Again, San Ramon Azurri, the bending ball, the header, and they missed an opportunity that time, as it was a quality strike, but the header just went awry. And so again, San Ramon Azurri cannot get it in the back of the net. And every time you have those quality chances and you don't connect, it can hurt you. Because how many more do you have in the tank? How many more will you get in the tank to be able to have by the other team chances to put it in the back of the net? That is the problem if you don't get it in the back of the net when you have the quality chance. Heat FC continuing to stay knotted up in a 0-0 tie. Continuing to try their chances at putting it in the back of the net. But the Bay Area visitors have been strong at trying to keep them from doing that. So will they have to go into a penalty kick scenario to try and win this match? Or can they put it in the back of the net before this overtime session is over? We're going to see very soon here if either team is going to be able to do that. Maybe a couple of minutes left to go in this match. Bay Area, San Ramon Azurri trying to go down to Central. They've got players there. Can they do it? They go to the wide now, trying to stretch out the defense of Heat FC. But they're not able to connect with the quality passes, and they give it away. Back the Heat FC now, trying to go down to Central. And that is the end of the match in overtime. And it is still 0-0. And we are going to see a penalty kicking scenario. It is 0-0. Stick with us. Penalty kick in the championship of the girls under 17. San Ramon Azurri and Heat FC. The gold division. The first one for the Heat FC is going to be Megan Cordero. Megan Cordero hits a post. So Megan Cordero does not put one in the back of the net. And so now let's see what the visitors from the Bay Area can do. Caitlin Fonner Remember, I mentioned she's had 25 shutouts in 2 seasons in high school play. She's a junior now at Coronado High School in Henderson, Nevada. State ODP player for the past 2 seasons. And she makes the save. So both teams not able to convert in their first chance at the penalty kick. Ashley Beckwith. Center mid type. Trying to give her team the lead. And she does. Goes to the left of the keeper. Strikes it well. 1-0. Heat FC. San Ramon Azurri's second chance. 2011 Surf Cup. Going to the right of Caitlin and able to beat her on the low side. So it is 1-1 now after 2 tries for both teams. Now here's Lindsay Ng, a member of the Academic Society, co-founder of the Bishop Gorman Micro Bank. Been on the her varsity high school team since she was a freshman. Recognized for excellence in speech chemistry, church history. And unfortunately, will not be able to score. Trying to go to the keeper's left, and she didn't strike it well enough. Still 1-1. Let's see if Caitlin Fauner can try and stop this one. And she does. Shows her ability to go down to the ground and stop that soccer ball. Not struck very well. But the anticipation of Fauner guessing right. And Caitlin keeps her team even at 1-1 after 3 trips. Fallon Miller, the senior at Arbor High School, scores! And it is now 2-1 as Fallon Miller is going to be going to the University of Washington, gives her team the lead. 2-1, Heat FC. Can San Ramon Azurri tie it up? Or will they put themselves in a bad situation here? Oh, that was a great strike that time. Upper corner to the right of Caitlin. She couldn't get to that one. It was just struck too well. It's usually the advantage of the striker in the penalty kick scenario. It is 2-2. Both teams now have 4 players have struck the soccer ball. 2-2. This is Melissa Canazales. Melissa strikes it and scores! It gives the Heat FC the lead again. And out of their 5 players, they have scored 3 times, taking the lead 3-2. After their 5 players, the 5th player here. If she does not score, the Heat FC win the championship of the girls under 17. If she does, they will go again for 1 more player. She hit it wide, and the Heat FC will win the girls under 17 Gold division. Final score in PKs, 3-2. Fabulous job on the penalty kicks by the Heat FC. And they're able to win the championship hardware over San Ramon, Azurri. In a game which San Ramon, Azurri nearly put one in the back of the net, but nearly's not good enough during the regulation and in overtime. And so it goes to penalty kicks, and they cannot get the job done as Heat FC is the champions of the Surf Cup 2011, the best tournament in America. We hope you enjoyed all the action as both teams congratulating each other for the massive effort. I'm Greg G.K. Porter for Legitimate Productions saying take care of yourself, God bless, and as always, save this one on the hard drive. Bye now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations to our teams that have just made it through the GU17 Girls Gold. And congratulations to our champions and our finalists this afternoon. And welcome to San Diego Surf Tournament, Club Tournament. And we welcome you here, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We do want to say thank you also for our sponsors, Nike, and the rest of our sponsors throughout the fields here. But most of all, we also like to thank all of our parents who made the travel to come down here and join our girls. First, I'd like to congratulate our finalists, San Ramon Azurri, right? Azurri? Good. Bring Coach Brian up here to say a few words and hand up our medals.
Thank you. So, first of all, we have to thank Surf Cup for doing what you guys do. This is by far the best in the country. We're honored to be here, and hopefully we'll come back again. Thank you. Heat, congratulations. That was a fun game. It really was. End to end, the entire time. You guys are a very, very good team. It's a tough way to win or lose a game, especially a championship game, but congratulations. You guys should be proud of yourselves. My parents should be proud of you. As far as you guys go, if someone told us that we would be, break my neck. If someone told us that we'd be in the finals of Surf Cup last week, there's no way. I would have bet against you guys. I would have bet my house against you guys. And that's nothing against you guys, but we've only been together for like a month. We played in the Raid Showcase. We did some good things in the Raid Showcase, and then we came here. And to play 6 games at this level, in these conditions, under this environment, is very, 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 very difficult to do. I've brought teams here for the last 10 years, and to get this far is extremely hard. Mentally and physically, it's very, very difficult, so you guys should be extremely proud of yourselves. I know your parents are really, really, really proud of you. I'm very proud of you, and you know what? You can't come here your first time and win it, right? You gotta want more, right? So we'll be back in November, right? We'll win it in November. We'll come back next August. We'll win it next August. We'll keep trying until we win it, right, guys? Thanks again, Surf. Guys, great game. Thank you very much. Do you want to call them up individually?
Yeah, if you want to do that.
Okay. Yeah,
and
sure.
I can do one at a time. You
All
want
right.
captains or anything else? Goalkeepers or any?
Well, I'll call them up. You know what, Lauren, come on up. We'll call them up. We'll go fast. Audrey. Jacqueline. I might forget a name or two. Marissa. Yeah, I know. I should have him doing it. Amanda. Sophia. Francesca. Her sister Sophia. Yeah. Kylie. Shada. Jesse. Monica. Morgan, who I think scored like 90% of our goals this weekend. Alyssa. Yessie, who will take a PK next time, by the way. Oh, come on. You don't think I know what I'm doing here? Tess. Caitlin. And Jordan, can you make it up here with that gimpy leg of yours? Poor thing. She got knocked out like Saturday and had to miss the fun. This team has two very important people on it. Our keepers are the backbone of this team. They're our captains. And I'd like to bring you guys both up together, Cammie and Lauren. Hey, you forgot something.
Oh, not yet. No, not yet.
No?
No, not yet.
We can't have it yet?
Not yet. No, you can't have it. I'm gonna say thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, you bet. Thank you very much. All right, let's go ahead and say congratulations to our champions for the U17 gold. Oops, got the wrong group. Here we go. It's Las Vegas Heat. Let's bring Amanda on up here so we can go ahead and do a few words and hand out your medals. Congratulations, Amanda.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for a great game. It was very fun, very entertaining. Wish you guys all the best luck in the future as a new group, sounds like. So looks like you're going to go very far. Congratulations. To my group, I don't know what Jen would say, so I'll just make something up. Very proud. Every game you got better. You look fantastic in your training uniforms. And the future of this team is fantastic, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. Thank you very much. I'm happy, very proud of you. I think that pretty much sums it up. Melly, why don't you come up? You're self-appointed captain. Why don't you hand out the medals for him? Oh, wait, and I want to say a big thanks to Judy for everything she's done to get us here. Way to represent Heat's first win. Here you go, Mels. I know you love it.
Thanks, you know.
All right.
Nicole, you know, you're right next to me 24/7, so no problem. Maddie! Girl with the red card. Yeah. Alex. Girl who went to camp while we were playing. Cordero. Aaliyah. And welcome to the team, Aaliyah. Kara. Yeah, I know. Welcome, Kara. But Aaliyah's like a week new. Ling. Yeah. Like, what? Yeah, I know. Great job, Ling. Jenna. Great job, Kara. Amber Lee. You know I love you. I know you will. Cassie. Ashley. Courtney. And lastly, to our amazing keeper, Caitlin.
No problem.
And Melly. All right, congratulations. We do have a special award that we want to give out today, and we're going to bring our president of the tournament, Mike Conley.
It was close, Connor Lee, but that's all right. Everybody screws it up. First of all, thank you girls for coming over and enjoying our beautiful weather. One of my favorite towns outside of here is Las Vegas, so you're going back to one of the places I love the most. I know, but it's something you'll understand later in life, let's put it that way. Every year we go ahead and poll the college coaches for an MVP and also MVP goalkeeper. And this year, and again it was before this game today because it was actually done this morning, this year is Lauren Holden. Congratulations.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mike. Let's go ahead, and we would like to present this trophy to our finalist team, Azurri. Azurri, yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And to our championship team, congratulations, Las Vegas Heat. It's heavy. But also, our champions will also be receiving from Nike our tournament jacket. We would like to have the jackets picked up by your team manager, and that the manager will handle that. In the meantime, we will also have photo opportunities over at goal number 2. And if you don't mind picking up your bags and your items, that'd be really helpful. But we want to thank everybody for being part of our tournament, and have a great day.
One last thing. Aren't you glad you're now Nike so you can get a Nike jacket?
Flip your metal jams backwards.
Okay, we're going to do one more. Okay, guys, I'm middle, so I'm